again, everybody. Welcome back to Bessemer and Lake Erie and HO scale. I did manage to get the roadbed laid, and this completes level 1 for the main lines anyway. So, of course, like I covered last week, I think this is going to be my version of the Allegheny Industrial District. But one of the things I'm pretty excited about is I always wanted a spur over my workbench for actual repair and place track. And I'm going to be able to have that. So silly, but I'm pretty excited about it. And this was the thing that really took the thinking and the layout. So I got my center lines marked for the tracks on the helix, and I got XN worked out here. So let me kind of walk through the method to my madness here. So this track would be main 1, track 100, and we're looking at crossing the Erie double main line at Shenango at the south end of the yard. So the way I made this work, so if I'm just on the main, I'm going into the helix. So you would go all the way up, come all the way around the basement, and when you come back down, you will actually be on this track. So follow that around. You can see where I put this spur in. So to short circuit the first deck here and not have to run the upper deck and be able to run a loop just on the first deck, you would throw this switch, come around this track, take the diverging right here back onto main 1. But when everything's actually running and the second deck's built, these two tracks will represent the Erie, and this will represent an interchange track, and I'll be able to leave a cut of cars here for interchange with the Erie. And then this is just the double main coming back around, and I'll just make it look like that continues off as part of the Erie. So yeah, that part gets a little bit sketchy as to what it really is, and those two tracks are going into the helix as well. But I think it makes the scene work, and operationally should be kind of fun and interesting. So I've worked out that my version of the Osgood Viaduct will be about 9 feet. It'll be from about underneath that sticky note, come right across the scene. I'll actually cross the Erie, so I'll kind of get the look of the tracks going under the Osgood Viaduct, and will disappear into a view block going into the helix, and the KO branch will join the helix on the second wrap. So that's kind of the thing that took some time thinking about, is how XN would work. And I did enough of this in any rail to kind of know that there was room here to make it work. But it was kind of cool just to see it come together. So anyway, that takes us back to roadbed back around to Bridge 38, which means roadbed is laid all the way around. I just gotta get some track laid and I can run a train in a circle. Won't that be exciting? So Shenango Yard, I think, is only going to be 3 or 4 tracks, and it'll start somewhere right in here, kind of come off, wrap around the circle there, and then we'll cross the second bridge and it rejoins the main right about there. So not real big yard, but enough to have some operations with anyway, and interchange with the Erie. So only thing that'll be the hold up in getting track laid and trains running here is I really trying to lay as many switches as I can where I know they're going to be, so I don't have to go back and cut up later. And that means I got about 8 switches to build. So I'm sitting here pretty busy with my fast tracks jigs. But all good. I'm hanging out with Chief Engineer Betty Boo, or we're just watching some TV, and getting pretty close to trains running here in the basement.